to the deMysticism podcast. Sacred conversations around radical self-love. And what do I want to talk about today? Recording at night. It is a full moon tonight. I'm in my beautiful little yoga space that I very much adore. And I think what I am going to embrace as the topic today, I'm changing the cadence of how I want to deliver this podcast just to allow myself more time, space, to create quality content. I think it's important to stick to a rhythm, and at the same time, I'm not going to box myself in, and that kind of lends itself well to what I want to dive into today in this conversation. So as I'm recording this, it is a full moon, and I was thinking about the rituals that I want to embrace this evening. And also giving myself grace that it's been, as this whole year has been, a little bit of a wild ride, and I've had to let go of any rigidity around my schedule and how I want to allow myself to show up. So I can record at night if I want to. I can skip a week, or I think what we're going to do is go to every other week publication. And thank you if you're listening, because it's a very small, tight-knit, beautiful community of listeners that I have right now, and I appreciate it. And, I hope that this grows. And if nothing else, if it lands with even one person, then I have done my job. But what I think is relevant today, as I consider full moon energy, and to me, full moons are generally about releasing and letting go. And this one I feel is pretty significant in that regard. And in particular, looking at fears that have come up for me today, in particular, in the last few weeks, and also thinking about the unmasking. I just taught a yoga class before recording this, and that was part of what I was speaking to, is the stepping into our own authenticity and really embracing who we are, free from all the BS programming that we got as children, moving through our lives, from society, from our parents, from our communities, schools, churches, whatever it is. Generally, all of that came from someone or something well-intentioned, and our entire world is shifting right now. And it's no secret that, if you're listening to this, you're probably with me in some sort of spiritual space. But I firmly believe that there is truth to everything that the cosmos is initiating, everything that the collective is initiating. And when we're seeing all this fear pop up in widespread ways, even individually, all of this is for our greater good. It is coming to show us areas where we need to shift, where things have to be let go. And these masks that we've been taught to wear around what life is supposed to look like, how you are supposed to make money, what constitutes a good human, all of that is completely unraveling. I think our financial systems are unraveling, our ways of working are unraveling, our education systems are unraveling, because we are collectively pushing toward a shift. There has to be a different way of living. And as I've been feeling that, it's like I can totally feel the cosmic energy shifting. I can feel shifts happening within me. And while we're all making these quantum leaps, sometimes here in this current 3D, I feel fear. I feel this, woke up this morning. I have a pretty good practice of trying to put myself in a state of believing in the certainty of what is unfolding for me, and believing in the certainty that I am protected and that everything is unfolding in the right way, that I know what I am here to do to serve the world, and that I will be okay. I will have food. I will have shelter. I will be prosperous and abundant because I am coming from an authentic place. And sometimes the fear still comes in. Sometimes that level of like, oh my gosh, are those numbers in my bank account for real? How am I going to make all of this work? And um, then it's interesting how much of the I should be stories start coming in. And um, the masks that we wear, that piece of how we've been taught to show up in the world. And um, it just all gets convoluted, and it shows us the areas where we can release and let go and craft new beginnings. So as I sit with this full moon energy, I'm going to go out and do a little fear burn. This is a practice that I love to do, um, where I'm going to name the fears that I have. And for me, some of them right now exist in unraveling some beliefs about how money comes to me, what is a profitable career, um, what is okay to charge for my services, uh, if the ways that money is delivered. I caught myself recently having a conversation with friends, and I was carrying some judgment around somebody in my circle and how they had acquired some money that in my judgment felt unearned. And one of my beautiful friends who lives in the spiritual space with me was like, why does it matter where the money comes from? Because it's really just coming from source either way. I'm like, fair point. Um, Not that I think you should steal your money. You're inviting incorrect energies in if you do that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about money that genuinely comes to you in various ways. And maybe it's not a way that you would have thought it would come, but who am I to judge if somebody receives legitimate money from any given source? As long as you didn't take it or steal it, it is your money to receive. So there's just beliefs to be challenged is my only point in that. And recognizing where those create limits for me, because if I am not willing to receive in ways like that, then it's not gonna show up for me in the easy ways where um, maybe some random check just shows up in the mail. I didn't know I was part of some class action lawsuit, right? Like these things happen. It's exactly what it was for a friend of mine that recently said that. And I was like, oh, interesting. Because I think I was like, oh, maybe I had a little jealousy. Like, oh, I wish I could have that happen to me. Why can't I? Why can't money just randomly come to me? So again, releasing the fears around judgment, that's a self-judgment. That one for me is me saying, I'm judging. And anytime you're judging another human, it's really because you're judging yourself. Everything we think or do or send energetically to someone else, we invite toward ourselves, or it is some reflection on how we feel about ourselves. So in this full moon energy, what are the masks that you're wearing? What is the programming that you have been given that is keeping you stuck, is keeping you small, is keeping you from stepping into maybe an unconventional career or a dream that you've always wanted to live out? And somehow you were told that that's not right. That's not okay. That's not a proper way for people to show up in the world. And I mean, that can be in any number of ways. That can be in dressing eccentrically. That could be in, I mean, I've talked about my gray hairs before, but I have had, nobody's, to my knowledge, ever judged me for it. And if they do, I personally don't care because I love my gray hairs. But I have had other women say to me, I wish I could let my hair go gray. I'm like, well, of course you can. You can let your hair go gray. What are you talking about? It's like the most freeing thing I've ever done. But it's conditioning that we were given around youthfulness and desirability. And again, just programming and creating this mask. Even the fact that as women, we feel the need to wear makeup. And I have no issue with that. I love to sometimes put on a little makeup because it makes me feel pretty. But it's again, checking in with the energetics of why. Because right now I don't have any on and I don't really care. And it's if it feels good for you and you're doing it for you, no issue. If you're doing it because you feel like you are incorrect to not do that, it's something to look at. Or if you're doing it and you don't even really want to, like some days I'm happy to do it. Some days I'm like, I do not want to put on makeup. I do not want to put on proper corporate clothing. That was a challenge for me when I was working in an office. I mean, I love to dress in beautiful outfits, but there were some times where I worked in the financial services industry, and I have a very distinct recollection of walking into a meeting. Definitely, I wasn't out of dress code, but I've got all these tattoos, and I had this like little pink jumpsuit on that kind of looks like, I'm going to roll under a car and do some mechanic work. And I walked into this room full of very bankery people women in their suit jackets. And it was one of those moments where it felt like the record player stopped and everyone stared at me like, who the heck is this? And yeah, I was just on the marketing team. Marketing people get to dress like that. I just kind of embraced it. Also got released from that job. So I obviously didn't completely fit in, or there was something there, but that was a blessing and I am not sad about it. But again, it's just an example of where we sometimes wear masks and try to mold ourselves to fit certain societal prescriptions that maybe we don't need to do anymore. So in this full moon energy, what do we want to release? What masks do you want to drop? And it's okay if you're scared to drop them. This is an exercise. What I'm inviting is just to notice. That's the first step. This is something I will teach often in yoga, is becoming aware. That's so often what it takes, is we don't even notice how often we do something because we were told we're supposed to, because it's what people do. And if it goes against our inherent authentic being, then maybe we can drop it. Maybe we can let it go. And the beautiful thing is, as we start to strip away this artificial outward self and we let our real essence shine, we start to find deeper connection with one another. Because truly, I think that's what we're all craving. The beautiful thing that's happening right now is watching so many people just show up and just be big and be themselves. And we're all like, thank you. Thank you. Because now me showing up being totally me gives you permission to be totally you. And you go to a class or walk down the street or walk into a coffee shop and you see someone that is just radiating their authentic selves, you want to go up and talk to them, right? You want to know more about that person. And we all have gifts to share with each other. This is like the whole point, is to learn from each other, to connect and to learn. We're all just walking each other home. We're all just here in this together. Like what the heck other meaning is there other than to come back to that wholeness? Whether it is wholeness within yourself, wholeness with your divine source, wholeness with your community, wholeness with the bigger picture. It's really what we're craving. It's the separation that feeds the fear and pulls us apart and tells us we can't survive. And that's not true, because we do have everything we need. This idea of these quantum shifts and these quantum leaps, on one level, I feel like absolutely. And I can see all these things happening. I can drop in and feel that. And then I have those moments where I go back to like, but how am I going to do this? But what's happening right now? But is this real? And the truth is, it's all real. It's whatever you choose to focus on. That's what's freaking real. It's a mind bender for sure, but tap into that. Drop the mask. go out under this full moon, or you're probably going to see this after the full moon because it's probably not even going to post until like Wednesday. But this energy is still alive for us no matter what. You can always practice this fear release, fear, burn it up, let it go, unravel the facade, step into the authenticity, and see what happens. Just see what happens. Those moments of fear, these are beautiful nuggets. These are such good information. Such good information. There's many different philosophies, many different ways to approach that. But I think at its core, whether it is the message of feel the fear and do it anyway, whether it is in the, I've been studying the Kabbalah a little bit, by no means an expert, but it's just truth in my bones as I've started to learn it. I'm like, oh, everything makes sense now. But those moments where you're like, oh my God, like everything feels broken, I'm terrified. The mantra there is pause. Because it's showing you so much. You see those shadows and you can like break through. They're like little Easter eggs, little treasures of, oh, what is this trying to show me? There's a mask there that I could drop. There's something there that I could let go of, kind of wiping away the fog, right? Like just see this, like I feel this, like, oh, use my Reiki skills and like, we're going to take that away. There's something else I could reveal right there. It's all just being revealed. Getting a little bit deep with it, but that's okay. We're going to take away the masks. We're going to go outside under that full moon, and I'm channeling this energy for whenever you see it. I invite you to witness your masks, love them, appreciate them. Everything has brought you to this moment, and this is a beautiful gift. You can forgive yourself for anything that you feel wasn't good along your path, because guess what? It all had to happen exactly as it did. And here we are. A new breath, a new beginning, a massive rebirth in this moment of energy collectively. But you can choose that rebirth moment anytime. And I'm saying this 12 hours ago, I was having a meltdown. 12 hours ago, I was losing it and thinking, I'm going to fail at everything. And no, I'm not. I'm not failing at anything. It's all going to work out. So I wish you peace, health, happiness. I wish a free and easy soul for every single one of us. Talk to you soon.